What do you do with them scraps of wood if you're a woodworker? You throw them all out on the in the burn barrel or in the burn pile or into the campfire? Well, if you're like me, you've got a box, a bin, a pile, a corner, and you're always saving these scraps. I mean, here's a piece of cherry. You can't just throw that away. But yeah, there's a couple of holes in it because this is some reclaimed cherry, but yeah, it's just too good to throw away. And you end up with pieces like this. You know, what can I do with this? Well, this has to be Western red cedar. I know this is not an expensive wood, but you got these nice clear pieces, so what do you do with them? Well, if you happen to have a laser, you can make nameplates, like so. And I'm going to show you how you can do it on the Longer Nano Pro as well, because it is great for these small projects. For example, here's one I'm working, this is a prototype here, so it doesn't have the bevel cut on it, for Boss Lady. And I'm going to be making another one here as well. And what I'll do is I'll cut a 15-degree angle bevel on the bottom of this, and then it will fit on, just to grab a board here for an example, will fit like so with an angle on it, and it'll sit on the desk. So this is a little idea of what you can do with all them little scraps of wood. And like I said, I'm going to show it on the Longer Pro here with the Longer Nano Pro with the slide extension attachment on it. Because this is an odd shaped scrap here, I'm not using the hold down clamps like I did when I did the narrow pieces, so I'm just using these slider bars on the ends to kind of clamp it in there and hold it in place. So I've got my, like I said, I'm going to do Boss Lady again here, just a little bit different size. I'm starting from the lower left corner in current position. So before I start this, I'll want to frame that. So you can see a little blue dot there. I'm leaving myself some room at the bottom there to be able to put that 15-degree bevel on it. And I need to miss that nail hole or screw hole that's up there. And I do. So I can cut this out after it engraves. So what are my settings here for this is cherry. I'm doing 6,000 millimeters per minute at 75% power, a fill, and one pass. And yes, this does make smoke, and I do have an enclosure for this. However, if I put it in the enclosure, you wouldn't be able to see what was going on. And yes, Longer does make an enclosure for the Nano Pro, which I'll be doing a video on here shortly. We also have a portable carry bag if you're like taking the Nano with you to for perhaps a craft show or something. They have a nice little carry bag for it. As you can see, this just moves right along. Burns real easy, even when you got a good sharp router bit, if you don't really keep moving. And I got a couple of scorch marks on here, but a little bit of sandpaper will take that right off. And I'll sand all these down to 220. That's what I got in my hand here. I'll get into some assembly. I put the little round over on these, and you don't have to do that. I just did it. It adds a nice little finish to it. I did not do one edge of the base, and of course I did not do the bevel, because this needs to set like this. We need to have a good edge on it, like so. So now you just got to glue them together. Now I have a combination of things going on here for putting these together, and I'm going to start with the smaller one here. So I've got some quick and thick, and I actually have it out on the table right here on this piece of cardboard. Don't go overboard here. You don't want a whole ton of squeeze out on that. And you do have to work fairly quickly with this. And then I'm going to use just a couple dots of CA glue and some activator to get this to hold quick, and then just a couple pin nails, since it's difficult to clamp something like this. There's a couple drops of CA glue in a couple places. Spray the activator on the base piece. Get this set in place where it goes. I'll hold it there for a few seconds so that CA glue takes effect. Wipe off any little squeeze out I got there. And I'll just put a couple pin nails in it. So there's one. This quick and thick does dry clear, but I'm still trying to avoid any squeeze out on the front, because then I'd have to thin some more. A few drops of CA glue. Standing, I always like to blow all the dust out of the letters before I put. Okay, for a finish, I'm using Watco Danish oil, natural, easy wipe on. Says so right there. I've used this before. It's pretty good stuff. And it makes for a nice finish, and you don't need anything fancy. Use a rag, or if you use a rag, though, make sure it's something that's going to have lint on it. Get your towel or whatever soaked up with it good, and just rub it in. They also have this in, there's different shades if you wanted to change the shade of your wood. This being cherry, I want to keep it natural. You can also put it on with like a foam brush or something, but these small pieces here, this will just be quick. Make sure you get the end grain good. Back here, make sure I get down in that little groove. Everything's looking good there, and I just threw this out here. I was kind of wondering what this oil looked like on the cedar. I've never tried it, so just out of curiosity. Yeah, not bad. So as you can see, you can take some of them wood scraps you got laying around in your buckets and boxes and closets or wherever you keep your surplus wood scraps you just don't want to throw away. Make something out of them and turn them into cash. So there we have it. Scraps to potential cash. Of course, these here are just kind of a speculative thing I made. I do have a project to make some personalized desk nameplates. So what's one of these worth? Well, they're worth 15 bucks, easy. If you're going to get really personalized with it or use a more exotic wood, or if you're having to go buy it, you may want to raise your price up a little bit, but $15 is not unreasonable for something like this. And when you see something like this at like a craft show or craft fair, that's going to be kind of spur of the moment, especially for the women that, well, they're the boss, I guess, the boss ladies. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up. Always helps the channel. I'll put a link in the description for the Longer Nano Pro. Nice little good. It's a good, nice little laser for these kind of smaller projects, and you don't have to take up a huge amount of space with a bigger desktop model with one of those. So other than that, that's it for this one. I'm Roger in the shop. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.